Hey everybody, I'm Blue, and it's that time of year again where the holidays are in full swing. And you know what? You absolutely have to get in the spirit. There's things being hung up outside, like bright lights and tinsel and so much stuff that just gets you all excited for the holiday. No. I'm excited for the holidays. I am. And the best way to get more into the mood is gonna be to draw something. And look, I found this adorable hoodie from Hollow. Check them out on Blue Sky. All of their stuff is adorable, and I know that Jubilee's gonna look super cute in it. So we're gonna draw Jubilee in this cute little reindeer hoodie, and I know without a doubt she is going to look stunning. And then there we go. There's our ruff, and then we just need to draw like Orem and Camillo. And okay, never mind. I don't think it's gonna be quite that simple. I really do want to draw something for the holidays though. It feels like, it'll help get me in the spirit of things, of giving and family and togetherness. And so let's give this an honest shot. Let's go for a full attempt, and we are going to knock it out of the park. I don't care if I only have 3 days until I need to do the video part of this. I'm gonna knock this out, and we're gonna do a full interior group shot. Ignore the fact that I don't normally draw interiors, and go ahead and ignore the fact that I definitely don't normally draw characters interacting with interiors. But we got this, and we're gonna challenge ourselves to get our mind out of the headspace that we're currently in so that we can focus on the joy of the holidays. And you know what? Let's go ahead and say they don't celebrate our holidays in this world. Let's do this as a world building exercise. That'll work. So we're gonna completely reinvent this. What are some things about this season that we really like and enjoy? And we'll focus on that. My favorite things about this time of year is looking forward to the year that is about ready to come and saying goodbye to the year that happened. And I feel like bells are just such a strong symbolism for me for this time of year. And I know they have this association with Santa and his reindeer, but I don't really want to focus on old Saint Nick, But I do want to think of like bells and how I could incorporate that into their world. So, okay, bells represent the chiming of the year going away and into the new one. You know the way they like swing and sway and they make that little jingle? So the idea is they ring these bells as loud as they can in order to greet the new year with a boisterous boom. As well as things like the spirit of generosity and really like helping your common man. So how do we sort of bridge these things and tie them together and create a little bit of lore for the world? Okay, I think I've got a clear idea. Let's see, let's piece this together. Once upon a time, and just outside of a small town, there was a man. This man was about to freeze to death. He knew he wasn't long for this world, and he knew that there was no hope that he would survive. But in his last moments of desperation, he heard the sound of jingling bells, and what approached frightened and scared him. A strange, six-legged, deer-like creature who had massive bells hanging from these horns that sprouted up like tree branches from the top of its head. It beckoned down to him and requested that the man grab hold of its horns. And so he did, and before he knew it, he was on the creature's back, being whisked to the nearby town, where he was set before the doctor's door, and slowly, surely, nursed back to health. The man, having been so set that he was about ready to die, was filled with a new vigor for life, hoping that he could inspire others with acts of kindness. And so he would do what he could to bring somebody a smile on a day where they had tears, whether that be a gentle gift or even just a shoulder to cry on. He did everything he could to embody kindness. And the town loved him for it, and they were inspired, and they took up the same lessons that he was teaching to them. But every night, the man would go into the woods with a single bell and ring it, hoping to charm the creature that had saved his life so that he could thank it properly. But despite the man's effort, he never saw the creature again. And on the day where he finally passed, where he drew his last breath, the town was erupted with all of these bells cheering for him, passing him on to the next life, greeting it with open arms. And it was then that for the first time, the village saw the creature as it approached the man before he could be laid into the ground. It sniffed his hand as if asking him to take hold of the antlers. And the man did. He grabbed hold of the antlers and was spirited away, living on to this day as a spirit of generosity and kindness. Throughout the year, whenever you face a hardship and somebody appears at exactly the right time, it's said that they were possessed by the spirit of this man, and that wherever bells can be heard, he's not too far away. Kindness and generosity is always there when you need it. And yeah, look at that, we have some cool new world building for the Spark and Stone universe, and we're almost done. We've got more or less the setup that we're looking for. We have some strong highlights for the fireplace being reflected off of the characters, and even though I've never really drawn an interior before, and I am struggling with that couch, let me tell you, it doesn't look bad, and yet there's something about it that I'm just not happy with. There's something too cold, something too... I don't know. I don't know why I'm not relating to this piece that I have spent so much time on. I've done everything that I can think of. I've drawn the characters in a way that I feel like showcases their personality. I've decorated the room exactly how I want to. And yet, I'm looking at this and pulling together all of these final pieces, and I don't see the result I was wanting. Maybe I tried to do too many new things at once. I'm using texture brushes I've never touched before. I'm doing an interior shot, which is something I am notoriously bad at. And I guess I'm proud of myself for pushing through and doing it despite how hard and difficult it was for me. But the more I look at this piece and the more I think of the thoughts that I put into it, the more something becomes clear to me. This is something that I drew out of obligation and not an actual want. Sure, I love my characters so much, and it's so nice to have them actually interacting with each other. And look at Camillo's face! There's something just so warm and pleasant about it, which I haven't been able to do with him before. And yet, I don't know if I'll ever look at this piece and be fully satisfied with it. Not because it's bad, or not because it didn't turn out exactly like I envisioned in my head, but simply because this holiday season, that spirit isn't in my heart this year. And that's okay. And I'm sure there are dozens of you out there that feel the same way. You feel like the season just isn't hitting the way it should. You're looking back at the past year and you're seeing everything was so wrong, and the hands that you used to be able to reach out to weren't there, and it just doesn't feel good. And it's kind of like looking at a piece that you're not fully satisfied with. The components, the time, and the effort were all there, and yet it's just not quite right. And that's okay. So many art videos and so many artists go on and on about the positive aspects of art and how we use it to escape the turmoil and we draw things because it makes us feel better, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you finish a long project that you busted out in 3 days and you hurt your shoulder doing, and you spent 11 hours on it, and it doesn't hit right. And that's okay. That's part of the journey too, because you still tried new brushes, you still experimented with your characters in a new way, and you still did things that you wouldn't have done otherwise. And it's okay to know that and still not like the piece. So this holiday season, if you're feeling like I am, a little bit lost, a little bit hurt, a little bit alone, know that there's people that are feeling the same way, and I'm one of them. So I hope, in spite of all of the incompleted pieces, all of the unsatisfactory results, you can look at your past year and say you did put in the effort. Maybe it didn't get the result that you wanted. Maybe it's not quite right, but you did it. And you have more skills for the next year. And I am going to be hoping for both me and you that next year will be better. And until we meet again in that new year, I hope you get some genuine rest, because that's just as important as acquiring all the shiny new skills, so that next year we're gonna tackle the year and we're gonna go strong. And until next year, later.